Hello. So today I have actually a really good friend of mine. His name's Daril, and he actually works with me at the rehab department here in the hospital. And I figured it would be a really cool opportunity for you guys to see just a good friend and some questions that you get to know my friend a little bit more.
Yeah.
So can you introduce yourself?
My name is Daril Mbewa. I'm occupational therapist by profession with some specialization in like splinting and again community rehabilitation. Yeah.
Very cool. So he's actually very Daryl's actually very specialized. So he helps obviously with clubfoot and then splinting. So he's by education he's an occupational therapist, as he said. And so I'm sure some of my friends and family would just want to know who you are. Are you born in this area? How old you are? You have a family?
Okay. I'm 33 years old. I have a family. I have three girls and one boy. I was born in this region, but in Migori County.
How far is that from you?
I can't estimate the kilometers, but it's if I can guess, like maybe a drives are like around 3 hours drive. So I'm not sure of the kilometers. I'm not look into that, but it's a bit far. Though my original county is Oma Bay County, but was born in Migori, grew up in Migori. I did my high school in Migori, then the primary level and the high school in Migori. And now at the college level, so I went to Nairobi.
Sure.
Yeah, that's where I did most of my specializations. And then after that, I worked in Kisumu for sometimes around close to 5 years. Then after that, that's when I came now to Kindle Adventist, where I'm now having close to 6 years now. Yeah, work experience here. So I think working here has not been that challenging, but it's normal to us. Like in Kenya, sometimes we feel when you are somewhere, then you feel like you may think that there's somewhere better than where you are. Yeah, so, but to me, because like me, I've been here, though I can't say that it has been very comfortable, but at least I'm like, I feel like there's a reason why I am here. Yeah, so as much as people feel like, oh, because most people think of pay than anything else. So to me, I think when the right time come, or when if it's God who decide that I'll be here forever, well and good. But when opportunities come again, well and good. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, so Daryl kind of mentions already, like, so life here is challenging sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what Daryl is saying is that oftentimes, especially like I've noticed, is that husband and wife, they actually live different places in the country.
Yeah.
So like, one person will work here, for example, and then maybe their spouse will work in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And so that's just life because they want to try to make a living and do what they can. And so, sometimes they can work in Nairobi and get paid much more. And so they just, come together maybe on the weekends, when they can as a family. But Daryl, like he says, he actually probably can paid very well if he worked somewhere else in terms of salary wise. But we're thankful that he's here, and he's able to, help us a lot here. And, his family is in this area as well too. So we've been very fortunate and blessed that he's been helping us here.
Maybe mostly what I know with in Kenya, most people go to school and expect maybe after that you get employment, you get good salary. Yeah, and like maybe in other places, here we struggle to get job because there are many people who have graduated but no jobs again. Yeah, so like you may find somebody maybe graduated like maybe even 10 years ago and still maybe looking like for an intern position. Yeah,
True.
so it's a big challenge, but sometimes also it depends with how aggressive you are and how you deliver. Yeah, because again, people when they want to employ you, they see what you can deliver or what change you can bring to that organization.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
so it's quite challenging. That's why just like Justin have said, you'll find that now, like a family, they live separately because maybe wife is somewhere looking for some little cash, the husband look for some little cash, then you
Sure.
combine together, then you see.
Then they
Or,
survive.
yeah, again, this one, sometimes is a challenge to the families, like for the kids, because now sometimes they'll be forced maybe to be with one parent, and now
Exactly.
there is a gap. Yeah, you'll find that as people are developing, like maybe socially, there's always a gap.
Sure.
Yeah, there's some children they go towards the mother, some towards the father, depending on who they.
Who they prefer and
Yeah,
who they spend
yeah,
time with.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So since we kind of talked a little bit, maybe with the rest of our time, we can ask Daryl about just the education system here. So obviously, we know in America how our system's set up. So I guess Daryl, since you have kids, you can kind of explain the school system up until maybe getting a diploma, what the levels are.
Okay, now in Kenya, we, like me, the system I went through, it was they were calling it 844, meaning there is a pre-primary level that is like was not captured here. So this pre-primary, they used to there was a people that used to go to school in primary, then the time maybe between 4 to 5 years, then you just exit to we go to primary. So at that moment, then primary was now 8 years. You take 8 years in primary school, then after that you go to high school, where again you spend 4 years in high school. Then after that there is a 4 years in university. And though there's a not everybody goes to university, there's a tertiary level, the college level. Like me, I went to through tertiary because in here in Kenya, there's a grade you have to score to get to university. So sometimes you may have a passion in pursuing something, but because of the grade and the system the way it is, sometimes it limits you. So you have to look for where you fit. Like now, me, though, by the time I was in high school, the grade I got was like this was C plus. But by that time, the university entrance was a bit higher. And then after that, after some years again, the university entrance depends with how people passed.
Sure.
Yeah, so some previous year they again lowered it again to C plus. So so far now, like the government is introducing a new system which they call CBC. They call it competency based curriculum. Yeah. So where maybe it's like they again focus on talent. Yeah, and like previously, you just straight to the books. So whether you have a talent or not, it was not being cut afford. But now the new system is like there's pre-primary, where some places they start with this, they call it like a play group before they go to pre-primary one. Yeah, then there's a pre-primary two. Then after that, you go to now primary, where you take like 6 years. After that, then you go to junior secondary, where you'll take around two. Then there's a senior secondary after that. Yeah, so after senior secondary, because it's the new system now, the level where they're still in junior secondary. Sure. So as time goes by, yeah, they go to the next level. They come with the new rules. They see what fits. Like before, when junior primary was being introduced, it was a challenge because they didn't know where to maybe to put it, whether in primary or in secondary. But now it's still in under primary schools. So when I think now senior secondary now will be in high school. Then from there, then again is when they are like maybe planning for university, where the university now people will be like taking like 3 years. Sure. So apart from that, if somebody, because there are some people who feel like there's some courses that they can do in tertiary level that may not be offered maybe in university, or their grade, their performance could not allow them, may not allow them to go to university. Sure. Then they'll be going to tertiary. Also, many people, there are a lot of people who have gone under tertiary, but they're doing well again than even people who have gone to university. After that. Yeah, yeah, because in tertiary mostly they do the skilled work. Yeah, so yeah, the technical works where you don't have to be an office, so you don't wait Sure. for employment. Unlike now, where people go to school, they do like the white collar. They call they need a white collar job, and that's has been a big challenge to the country because now many people have a lot of papers, great papers, masters, but they are still yeah. There's no job. Yeah, I think that's what currently how the system is for now. Yeah.
So last question. So in America,
Yeah.
like when you go to university, usually most people they don't have money and so they have to take loans. So my last question for people here, if they want to go to university, do they have again, do they have to pay cash only or do they can they take loans?
Yeah, sure. There has been a challenge also in fee payment, and there is a part of a kit in government that has been set. They call it HELB, that Higher Education Loans Board. So not everybody get it in Kenya. That's the challenge. There are people who go. They say that there's a university. They are categorized private and maybe public university. So there's some people in public university may get it. Sometimes people in private may not get it. But previously, some people used to get it in both. But I had people were saying like maybe this government, the way they were like planning that to give only people in public universities, then now the private universities like they won't be able to get the help. So this one I think we are seeing like there's going to be a big burden or many people will drop maybe university because of that. So that's there but it's not effective. Yeah, because many people will still miss it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I hope you guys find this interesting. Just good to hear from my friend here versus myself. So I hope you find it interesting. But we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.